Alright guys, when driving with chains on, make sure that you have your hazards on, you have your differential on, and then that you don't drive over 35. Make sure you don't drive over 35 miles per hour when driving. You'll tear them chains up and cause yourself problems if you drive too fast. Especially, sometimes they'll make you chained up when you don't have all the soft snow like we have now, and that just tears them up. Like if it's just a sheet of ice out here, and it's basically the blacktop with nothing but a sheet of ice or frost on there, and they put the chain law up, and you got a chain with nothing soft like the snow on the road, you're gonna just tear them chains up, especially the faster you drive. And you're not supposed to drive faster than 35 with your differential on anyway, because you can tear up the transmission. And I'm not a diesel mechanic, but that's something you do not want to do. And the other thing is, driving over 35 with them chains on is just going to tear them up faster. So that's something you're going to want to really pay attention to. The other thing, like I mentioned before, is you want to really look in the road and watch for chains like right there. That other trucks have dropped, and try not to drive over top of them, especially since you don't want that piece of chain getting hooked up on your chains and then getting up there and getting hooked up and into your tires and maybe popping your tires or shredding them or something and causing you problems. The other thing is, if they fell off like that, there's a good chance that they got some sharp links that came apart, and it might poke a hole in one of your tires or something. You just never know. So try to really look out for chains that have fallen off of other trucks that didn't get their chains on tight enough. The other thing you want to do is you want to be listening for your chains and be looking out, making sure that they're not coming loose and everything else. So just a lot of things you want to pay attention to. Watch out for other vehicles and just try to keep it going and try to keep it up to 35 as much as possible, but just try not to go over. If you start going over, then just back it down and you'll be fine. Just try not to go that much faster, any faster than 35 as much as possible. Anyways, we'll kick this camera back on when it's time to unchain, when we get to the chain area, after we get to the better roads and we can take these chains off. Alright guys, we made it over the mountain. Now we're back in the chain station for chaining down. Vale is that way, and we gotta take down the chains, and unchaining's easy. Usually you can you have to chain with, usually want your co-driver to help you chain up, usually when you're not trying to film a video, but I'm trying to film this video, so I'm doing all the work, and all Craig has to do is hold the camera, so lucky him. So all it requires for unchaining is loosening everything up, driving forward and picking the chains up and throwing them back in the truck. But I want to show you, usually there's not a problem, but every once in a great while you'll have the chains get hung up somehow, and then you're fighting to take them off. It rarely happens, but I've had it happen. But it rarely happens. So, what we want to do is find all our cams and undo them. And then always, whenever possible, when putting them on or taking them off, always unhook the back part first. Otherwise, you could wind up losing your chain inside in between the two tires, and it gets a real pain to pull them out. All that weight of the chain will pull off and go right in the center between the tires. It gets stuck, and then you're fighting and you gotta pull it, and sometimes you can't figure out where they're hooked at, and it becomes a nightmare. So whenever possible, unhook the inside part first, then do the outside, and don't let go of the inside until you've pulled it out. So hopefully that'll work out for me this time. I'm telling you one thing, hopefully that's what I'm gonna be able to do here. So, all right. So, like I said, undo the inside first. Always. You'll avoid a lot of issues. And if you want to find out what those issues are, just try doing the outside first. It'll cause you a bunch of problems. Unchaining doesn't take very long. Usually when I'm with my co-drivers, and I don't really expect my co-drivers to get out and help me unchain because it's so easy. And normally I don't bother to get out and help them because it takes, like, you see how fast that is. All you gotta do is stop, loosen them up, drop on the floor, drive forward, drag them all over and put them in the truck. So you see, sometimes these just kind of come right off. Just lay them on the ground, do the same thing on the other side. Now you guys saw how I made sure that everything was lined up on both sides. I made sure everything was lined up on both sides when we chained up. That way when we stop it, these hooks should be about in the same places for the most part, but they do shift when you drive and will slide around. Even if you get them as tight as possible, they will loosen up a little bit and shift around. That time over there, the hooks were at a different spot. Now we're over here, and we had those pretty much hooked in the same spots, right? Well, they're not in the same spot anymore. There's the hook there. Alright, well, I'm going to have to do this side first just so I can loosen it up enough. Whenever possible, try not to do the outside first. It's giving me more problems because I got this fender in the way, which makes it hard for me to get to it. I think I got it there. Whew. Okay, now all you gotta do is drive forward and then drag them off, put them in. Just drive off enough that you're not on the chains anymore. Alright. And then all you gotta do is just pick them all up and throw them back in the side box or wherever you keep your chains at. Don't lose your chaining tool. Well, let's not get this buried. All right, get these two put up and I can go to sleep. Don't want to forget Craig's little fifth wheel puller. Put that back in here. Ta-da, we're done chaining. I go to sleep, Craig can continue driving. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for watching.